Live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to this AFC South Show 246. We're here to talk about the divisional round, begrudgingly for some.
I had a great time.
I wanted someone's head on a platter, but
You know,
I'm a Texans fan. You can check us out on that Real Texas Team podcast. We had almost an hour-long episode. Basically, most of it was talking about CJ. So if you have, I'll get into my stuff later, but if you have any urge to watch a deeper opinion on it, go check that out. Up at the top right, we've got our Jags representative, 1/3 of Third and Teal, the podcast covering all things Jacksonville, Isaiah Michelle.
yeah, that's me.
How you doing?
Pretty good. You know, football is kind of over. Besides the, we got a little bit left, but college is over and NFL is almost over. It's time to just, be sad for a little bit, and then the draft happens, and then you're sad again, and then the season happens. So just getting ready for that.
Yeah. Down at the bottom, we've got our Titans representative, Andrew. He's one half of Titans Table for Two. You can check him out with his brother Christian as they talk all things Titans. Not with us this evening is either Jeff or Justin, who are the whole of Unstabled, as well as Tag Team Talk. And then Justin does fantasy football stuff over at Kingmaker Sports. Sorry. Gentlemen, let's start off with some positive news. I can't just immediately start us off on some negativity. So I mean I can, but let's stay up, Titans hire Robert Saleh as head coach. Andrew, we had mentioned that this was one of the people you were kind of hoping for.
So yeah, he was actually at the top of my list. I mean, there was Harbaugh, of course, but out of the realistic candidates, Saleh was the top of my list. And then, I mean, it really does boil down to who his OC is too, which it was noted that, he had a plan for his offensive staff and a backup plan. So I think that's one of the things that impressed him was what's your plan with Cam and the offense? So, I mean, obviously everybody was really excited, maybe Mike McDaniel, but he's now with the Chargers as of an hour ago, I think. But I was high on Saleh. He can build a defense, he can build a culture. Kind of gives me D'Amico Ryan vibes, He was the defense when he left New York Jets was the number one defense in the league, and they have been the number 32 in the defense literally since he left. The week he left. So I was high on Saleh. I think he's the right guy to put a winning culture here, and we'll just see what his staff looks like. I mean, the team hasn't formally announced anything, but it's been just about 24 hours almost since the news broke. So I guess we're just waiting. I don't know if they're trying to come up with some video package or interview with him to announce him or what. But yeah, now it's a wait and see, and because the next most important hire is who's his OC.
Yeah.
What's your plan with Cam Ward? Whatever the offensive coordinator wants, of course.
Yeah, I think he'd probably put some names out there. I mean, obviously Mike McDaniel's probably on the list. Brian Daboll is a name I like. Joe Brady if he leaves Buffalo. I like Bobby Slowick. I know he kind of flamed out there in Houston, but the more it looks like CJ plays like shit, it looks like he was kind of the scapegoat for CJ. Honestly, and probably just didn't feel comfortable giving CJ all the reins like CJ wanted. I like Nate Shieldhouse from the Rams. There's a lot of good. Cliff Kingsbury still out there. There's some good OCs out there. So obviously Mike McDaniel's kind of like the belle of the ball, but there's other really good offensive coordinators out there.
What's the chances it's still going to be Matt Nagy?
Pretty low, I think. I think that was originally a thought. And I wouldn't hate Nagy being the OC, honestly. But I don't think that's really where there's no really crossover between Saleh and Nagy.
Well, yeah, but there's crossover between Nagy and Borgonzi.
Yeah, Borgonzi does have final say, I guess, technically. But if he came out with a plan and they liked that plan, then I'm assuming they're going to let him go with that plan. And I'm almost positive Nagy wasn't a part of that plan for Saleh.
You're probably accurate on that.
That wasn't. I mean, I like Nagy way better as the OC than I do the HC. But it came out that they were doing all kinds of research on Saleh from the get go, as far as to having Jeff reach out to former Jets and 49ers players, like players that have been under him, whether they're former or current, and they have all spoke really highly of him and everything like that. I think he just got. I mean, the Jets are just so dysfunctional. You look at he was there for three and a half seasons. First two, Zach Wilson, Mike White. The third season, Aaron Rodgers goes down with a torn Achilles with 3 plays in, stuck with Zach Wilson again, and then he gets Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles for 5 games, who we can all agree didn't look the same that year. He didn't as good as he looked this year comparatively. So, and then you got with all the baggage that comes with Aaron Rodgers, was like, get Lazard, get Nathaniel Hackett, get like all this shit you just had to do to please Aaron Rodgers because Woody Johnson wanted him. So I don't put a lot of that. That's up there with the Browns, who are the most dysfunctional. And I'm not saying we've been dysfunctional for the last handful of years too, but that's a history of dysfunction with Cleveland and the Jets.
Apparently, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I saw a report saying that Rodgers told the Steelers that he won't come back unless they bring in Mike McCarthy as the next head coach.
I think he's already planning on going there. He's a Pittsburgh guy and everything. So, but that's what Aaron Rodgers does. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's as good of a job as people are making it out to be. I'd much rather have the Ravens or Buffalo. I don't think the Steelers are there. They're not good on offense. They're an aging defense. I mean, their offense was okay, but like let's call it what it is. Like Aaron Rodgers is not the same guy. He kind of played like Phil Rivers did this year. A lot of dinks and dunks, and I mean, he took a shot here or there, but like he's not the same Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But how do you, now that you see like we'll get into more about CJ, but just vaguely the CJ thing, how do you feel different about Slowick now?
No. I think they worked out pretty well the rookie year, because he built an entire offense around what CJ was good at, and the offensive line held up enough. And then they didn't have a running game. So then in year 2, they get Joe Mixon, the running game pops off, but the offensive line regresses. And as we all know, CJ Stroud can't throw if there's literally any amount of pressure in his face.
So that's not as much on Slowick. Once again, it's more offensive line troubles.
Yes and no. So Slowick in year 2 did not develop or change fucking anything.
So lack of adjustments.
Yeah, like no second half adjustments, no adjustments from year 1 to year 2. Brandon, he's fantastic at copy and pasting Kyle Shanahan's plays.
It's a copycat league, to be fair.
Kyle Shanahan goes to the playoffs, and he does stuff.
That's another name. Clay Kubiak is the current OC for the 49ers. He doesn't call plays, though. That could be a guy that Saleh brings over. But I have heard the 49ers aren't going to. The 49ers have to allow it. I have heard that they're not going to let Clay leave.
Who does he have a brother?
Clint is the OC for
Clint.
the Seahawks.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, both sons of Gary.
I was talking to a Titans fan.
There's a third one too, and there's another Kubiak somewhere.
Yeah, but I think he's still coaching in like college or something. I was talking to another Titans fan of mine, and I was kind of thinking that the Titans, and I wouldn't really encourage this, but you guys remember when, like right before they hired D'Amico Ryans, they hired David Culley and then Lovie Smith, both for a year, and then just said, "Fuck you, get out of here."
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking like maybe the Titans did that. They just kind of like get some fucking fill-in head coach for a year until Clint or Clay Kubiak is ready to be an actual head coach, and then just pull the trigger on that. But
a palate cleanser, just
a little palate cleanser, yeah. But I mean, you basically be shitting the bed for Cam Ward, so not a move there. But Saleh's going to make this defense tolerable again.
Oh yeah, he's licking his lips about getting his hands on Jeffrey Simmons, doing what he can with him. Makes the pick of Ruben Bain sound more likely. Clint Klein Kubiak is a national scout for the Cowboys.
There we go. Klein,
the youngest of the
Klein Tools, professional grade.
Brandon, I don't believe anybody else plays the Chargers next season in the AFC South.
Somebody
So
has to because
we all play the AFC North, and we all play the NFC East.
wrong. The Texans will play them.
Oh,
The
Second place schedules.
Aranor, is that your name? If you're looking to do like what we're doing right now, this is StreamYard.
Yeah.
And then Rosen Du Moreno, shut the fuck up. Sorry, boys. Continue.
No, you.
Oh God.
We're not doing
But
our
yeah.
list card,
Solid move hiring Saleh.
Oh yeah, I was high on it.
a very solemn move. Yeah.
Very solid move. And like we've said in the chat, excited to see Saleh and Cohen go at it twice a year. It'll be fun.
I can't wait for his first interview and somebody asks him a question about that. Oh, I don't even think about that guy. That was nothing, not a big deal. And then as soon as the game comes around, they're gonna be fucking yapping.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like the Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur handshake.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this Texans debacle. So the Texans fall to the Patriots 28-16. And in large part due to CJ Stroud just absolutely shitting the bed in the first half. And in the second half, he was able to do some things, and then everything around him crumbled. Woody Marks' fumble in the red zone did not help early in the second half. That might have changed a little bit of something, but it is clear and obvious to any Texans fan who's been watching CJ Stroud either a little bit in college or at least since he's been here. He's not that guy. He's not the guy that's going to consistently get you any sort of comfort in a game. He is not going to be the guy that you win because of. CJ Stroud's going to be the guy that does enough. He's going to be the guy that is basically Alex Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs at his peak. I think that's what we looked at in his rookie year was the peak. That's what he can be, is peak Alex Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's not going to turn into Dan Marino or Peyton Manning or Pat Mahomes. That's just not what his game is. Homie's got all sorts of issues about not, letting one play weigh him down and, cloud his judgment and kind of make him start second guessing himself. He's got some sort of personal demons that he's got to exercise in the same kind of way that Steve Young had to exercise it by finally getting over the hump. The Texans franchise needs very, very minimal out of their quarterback position. When you have a defense like that, you're basically in every game. You take CJ Stroud's pick six away because maybe he just decides to make the smart play and just throw it in the ground. It's 21-16 in the second half. We're talking about a very different game where the Texans are in it late until the game, even despite CJ Stroud having 3 interceptions. No, I'm just saying he didn't have the pick six.
Oh, yeah.
So, he just makes one smart play. This game is not a 12-point loss. It's a manageable game well into the fourth quarter, and there's a chance at redeeming himself. But instead of doing that and taking an L on a play, he's got to play fucking hero ball, channel his inner Will Levis, and fucking just hum one up to the moon and hope that somebody in his uniform is going to come down with it. I don't know that Davis Mills in the second half would have come in and won that game, but he probably put you in a better position, because Davis Mills, if he were to fuck up, moves the fuck on with his life pretty damn quickly. CJ is very, like, when after his rookie season, he was on podcasts and everything. Oh, I'm real good. Look me, top 5 quarterback. And then has a bad year. All of a sudden, the podcasting stops. He's not doing anything. It's all, now he's just sitting at home in his head. And that's what you bench him. You probably send CJ Stroud on a Vince Young mental spiral, throwing his shoulder pads away. People find him locked in his own closet with the Titans cheerleader outfit on. Vince Young was a weird man. But, I've had a lot of time to sleep on it, and I initially wanted CJ Stroud out of a Texans uniform. At this point, as long as the expectation changes and the money changes and you pay him like a game manager and he can give you any sort of game management, I'm okay with the 5th-year extension. And, after that, probably a $20 million, $26 million a year contract extension. Unless, all hell breaks loose and somehow he remembers how to play football at a decent level. We won a lot of games.
He would take that.
At right now, absolutely not. But if he comes out 2026, and they bring in some sort of competition in the quarterback room, maybe they engage in the idea of it's a true quarterback controversy with Davis Mills and CJ. Maybe you don't need to get anybody else, but if you come into camp with that and CJ ends up winning the job and ends up having basically a copycat season from this year to last year, that he ain't getting $50 million. He's not getting $60 million. He'd be lucky to get $30 million. That's not 30 a year. That's not 40 a year. That's not 50 a year kind of production. And realistically, we haven't seen a whole hell of a lot out of him since his rookie season. We've made a lot of excuses and changed coordinators and, basically completely flipped an offensive line and wide receiver room outside of one person. And, still dealing with kind of the same issues. At a certain point, you got to change the expectations. CJ isn't the franchise. He's the guy. He's basically probably just a bridge quarterback that you sign, I don't know, like a 4-year extension to after his 5th year. And he gets probably $25 to $30 million a season. If he plays clean in the playoffs, if he gets this team to the AFC Championship game, if that would have happened this season, we're talking about probably a $50 million quarterback. But because he shit the bed so aggressively in not one but both playoff games, there's absolutely no clean, conscious way that I could look at this guy and be like, yeah, I got faith. He's going to do something for us. I have absolutely none. Even outside of the interceptions in that game, he was missing people high, missing people way outside, missing people way low. Literally caused a hospital ball with just one player. He threw a ball to the tight end, Cade Stover, and caused him to literally turn back so aggressively, homie tore his ACL. What are we doing, CJ? I get being nervous. I get being jittery, but this is not your first rodeo, and you're acting as if it is your first rodeo. I feel like he wasn't ever this nervous the 2 years before. If anything, I think 2024 broke him. The amount of contact he absorbed, he got sacked significantly less this season, but acted as if he got sacked twice as much as he did last season. There's a solid chance that Houston, whatever upside CJ had, Houston killed it by not, just surrounding the offensive line with all pros at every position. One of my big concerns about drafting CJ is because he went to Ohio State, not going to get into the quarterback aspect of it, but because he went to Ohio State, he played with probably the deepest wide receiver room possible. I mean, you look at the wide receivers he was throwing to, you look at the offensive line he was playing with, the running game was doing damn good. That is a skill position and lineman factory that he came from. Of course, he's not used to getting fucking pressured. They played in the softest conference ever. Only time he lost was to Michigan or Georgia. And every time it was pressure, and then he looked like this. I don't understand how he's not grown, period, in the NFL. But I also think that there's, I feel like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, back in the day, the offenses were a lot more complicated. And now it's so dumbed down because they're trying to get college kids who are basically trying to learn a foreign language to speak plays in the NFL. They're dumbing it down because these guys aren't fucking doing the same shit. Like Peyton Manning was a fucking workaholic. I don't think that you can do the same things legally under the CBA that Peyton Manning was allowed to do back then. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a dumbing down of the quarterback position, and it's not helping anything. Realistically, your best quarterbacks are the ones with the best cannon and fucking in the right situation. That's all it is.
A lot more, instead of sitting back and reading the defense, is a lot more like snap decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Get it out. I agree with your assessment. Is he a game manager? Probably. The problem is he doesn't think he's a game manager until he starts playing like a game manager. That's going to be a problem because he's going to keep taking risks. He's going to keep throwing picks. Game managers don't take the risk like that. Honestly, I think if David Mills plays this whole game, you might have won. Because I don't think he makes as many mistakes.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that. I also, the right tackle and left tackle got hurt in the game.
Yeah, never easy, but
Woody Marks left. There was no Nico Collins. Cade Stover tears his ACL. Dalton Schultz got hurt. You go into a game already down a few guys, and then basically everybody you're counting on fucking gets hurt and doesn't come back, with the exception of Woody Marks.
Yeah, just take care of the ball. It's a different game. Yeah. For it to be 16-21 going into the fourth quarter with as bad as he played, he wasted an elite generational defense this year.
Wasted. And that's what pissed me off so much.
And don't get me wrong, you bring a lot of parts back, but you can't guarantee you're going to have the same kind of output. Everybody gets a year older. People figure that kind of stuff out,
Well, it's not just that. It's not just a year older. Everybody's pretty young. We got really lucky this year without having major injuries at key positions. Mm-hmm. We had one of the safety positions was pretty banged up all year. We got a couple depth defensive linemen who got hurt.
But of all the positions, those are the ones that you would rather get. Never want injuries, but a safety is you're like, hey, just don't let anybody behind you, dog.
Right. And with D'Amico's thing of just, it's not a complicated defensive scheme. You can really kind of just plug and play and let dudes just be athletes. But you can never guarantee that they're going to, even if they're all healthy again, they're not going to necessarily meet the same level of production. It's just a law of averages. Everybody regresses to the mean at some point.
Yeah, it'd be a good defense still, but will it be this level? Who knows?
Right. Right.
Because that's generational defense. And like I said it in the pre-show, if CJ plays like this again, they will get beat because Patriots are so much better than the Steelers. despite their easy schedule. They're just a better team. So, and he unfortunately, I mean, hey, bright side, he didn't throw any picks in the second half. Only 4 in the. Did he? I thought all 4 in the first half.
Yeah, I think crap. I'm trying to remember. So I think we had 11 or 12 turnovers all season, and then CJ Stroud accounted for like 10 turnover worthy plays in just the playoff games.
They said he's the only quarterback ever to have 5 interceptions and 5 fumbles in a playoff.
Yeah. He's probably the only one with those stats to also win one of those games.
Yeah, probably. Can we point out the irony of Curtis coming on here last week saying it is better to call Hutt and just throw the ball out of bounds. Your rating will be higher than if you throw it Lassiter and Stigley, and then CJ Stroud would have a better rating if he would just throw the ball out of bounds every play. The irony in that is great.
Yeah.
Did you have the score predictions though?
Yeah, I got score predictions.
I think I was pretty close.
Yeah. Andrew, you said 20-16, New England. I had 21-16, Houston. Jeff, 15-12, New England, and Isaiah 18-17.
I'd like to change my score prediction. No.
Good time for it.
Isaiah 17.
28-16 just feels right. I don't know.
Yeah. But look, ultimately, you start out 0-3 and you rattle off 9 in a row to end off the season and go 12-5, tying the most wins you've ever had in a season. It sucks that it went this way, especially with Bo Nix breaking his ankle and basically giving whatever team that made it to the AFC Championship game at least, more than a fighting chance of fucking making it to the Super Bowl. You got to put up with the defense, but it's not like Jarrett Stidham's going to fucking just destroy somebody in the playoffs. First time he's touched the ball all year.
Hey, we could have won this game. We might have had a walkthrough to the Super Bowl because of Bo Nix.
That was my thought as soon as the news came out. I was like, shit, we have to win now. Because if we do, we have a solid shot at making it to the damn Super Bowl. That was my initial thought. And then fucking shit the bed. And I that's part of the other thing is I don't think I can forgive Stroud for wasting the best possible setup. Like the Jags win that game and they fucking go to the Super Bowl. Like if the roles are reversed and they're playing the Patriots, they're winning that fucking game and they're going to the Super Bowl. Now it wouldn't, based on seeding, it wouldn't happen like that. But, it just waste, fucking waste. All right, well let's turn it back to something, a little bit less negative. Grant, you did.
Texans fans aren't going to want to hear this. But you have Trevor Lawrence on that team. You win you at least go to the Super Bowl this year. Especially with
you have any other AFC South quarterback, including Phillip Rivers, you might have made it to the Super Bowl.
Honestly, Phillip Rivers, they go to honestly, they win that game with Phillip Rivers because Rivers wouldn't be throwing the ball on the ground and throwing it to their team as much.
They win it with Trent Dilfer right now. Not even when he was playing.
They probably win it with me out there or one of us.
Is Cam Ward the worst quarterback in the AFC South now?
I mean, Davis Mills is still better than him.
We got Daniel Jones. Where do we rank him?
He's not under contract right now.
Riley Leonard. Do we rank Riley Leonard ahead of CJ?
Based on what the last tape we've seen of both, probably so. I mean, at this point, my expectation is 20 touchdowns out of CJ and fucking 10 plus turnovers and him missing 3 games for a concussion. But anyway.
Azeez Al-Shaair, who won't even be mentioned in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, versus Trevor Lawrence, who is 3rd in MVP voting. Oh, surely Azeez can carry a team farther. Maybe he can carry a team. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. Not the time.
Grant Udinski could be hired as the Browns head coach in the coming days. I don't know even who Grant Udinski is.
I don't think this is true with the Justin just said. I do think it's obviously an easier path without Bo Nix, but that team's strength is their defense and their pass rush.
Yeah, but Bo Nix
could just
bailed them
not.
out.
Stidham can just not make mistakes.
Yeah, learn from CJ.
Yeah, just don't do a CJ. See, we watch CJ's tab. Don't do that. We might have a chance.
Run Wildcat the whole game.
Yeah, shit.
RJ Harvey's been playing great.
You guys remember during COVID when all of the Broncos quarterbacks they tested positive for COVID and none of them could play that game? So they ended up having to start one of their wide receivers at quarterback.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah.
I started him in fantasy. That's the first decision I ever made.
I think it's probably not something to admit, but every time an emergency quarterback comes in, I'm like, man, I hope they get hurt because I want to see who they bring out there to play.
Like who's the extra emergency quarterback?
Yeah, I just want to see what's the third string emergency practice squad quarterback.
Who's the we're fucked quarterback?
Yeah, I want to see that so bad every time.
Is it the punter?
So who the hell is Grant Udinski?
He's our offensive coordinator.
Okay. So
he would officially I
was going to ask him. Liam called plays, right?
Yes, Liam Cohen called plays. So he was the quarterback coach with the Vikings before he came to us. And according to the Vikings head coach, can't think of his name right now.
Kevin
O'Connell. He was pivotal in working with that. Anyways, that word just didn't feel right. He was really good, good helping out with Sam Darnold. He was the one doing the main work with the quarterbacks up there. And then he brought him in. Liam Cohen brought him in, and I can see this happening for two reasons. One, he's unproven, and the Browns are kind of looking for something different. And all these new young coaches, that's kind of like the thing. And two, which goes along with the young, he's 30 years old. He'll be the youngest NFL coach in the history of the sport, or head coach. And so, it's like, oh, look at this fresh new guy. And the Jaguars just went to the playoffs and after going 4, blah, 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 blah. But apparently it was down to him and McDaniel for in-person interviews, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if there's any other candidates really left on that list. But this would be his second interview. The initial stuff came out. And they said they were so impressed with him over Zoom, they couldn't wait to meet him in person for the in-person interview. And now McDaniel's going to the Chargers as an OC. So there's a real possibility that could happen. And then Campanelli, also our defensive coordinator, interviewed for the Ravens job and the Dolphins job. So we could be losing one or both coordinators.
Well, the Dolphins already hired a head coach. So.
Yeah, but the Ravens haven't yet, though.
Yeah. So you have I mean, I'm saying it takes away half the chance at least.
Yeah.
What is the Dolphins?
Jeff Hafley.
I'm really hoping. Really hoping that we don't lose both. I would rather lose Grant Udinski because our defense was playing pretty good, but also because Liam Cohen's calling plays. So, the offensive coordinator isn't really as important as of right now. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'd be excited for either of them to go get a job somewhere and be a head coach. It's every coach's dream. Every coach wants to be one at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. It's always cool if your guy's the one that has a coaching tree, too.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys notice, throughout the years of watching the NFL, when the Patriots dynasty first got going, a lot of people were trying to pluck, little pieces off the dynasty tree, try to plant them in their own backyard and make Patriots South, so to speak, right? Is it weird that, that makes sense to do it after a dynasty? But we're having the same kind of thing happening with Sean McVay. And I wouldn't consider Sean McVay a part of a dynasty.
You know what? Something about the Patriots dynasty stuff up there. the difference between Sean McVay's coaching tree and the Shanahan tree and the Belichick tree is that the Sean McVay and the Shanahan tree ain't a bunch of bitches.
They've been more successful.
Because you have to realize to coach under Bill Belichick, that is a dictatorship. You don't get you don't have your own way. You don't get to make your own decisions. It's what Bill wants. And that's why none of those coaches could be successful anywhere else, is because they didn't know what to do. They didn't have that person telling them what to do. They weren't, they had to make the decisions. Whereas Sean McVay and Shanahan, they're letting these guys actually do stuff and like contribute and go other, it's like, I don't really see them being the same way, especially McVay. I know he's a pretty laid back dude, but he's also got that intensity to him. But like, I don't know. It is weird that it's just like happening so quickly now too. But I don't know. We'll see.
I also think, you're never going to have a dynasty like that Patriots dynasty again. That was insane. You'll never see that again in sports the way it went. I would say
in the middle of you had the Chiefs, and everybody was trying to hire all the Chiefs people for a little bit, and then it didn't work out, and everybody came back.
Yeah, a little bit. I was just gonna say, I think McVay is like, that's close. If they win this weekend, be his third Super Bowl appearance in 8 years? Like, is that right? 8 years? Yeah, that's pretty decent. I
don't think the Patriots have been back to the Super Bowl since they won.
No, because the next year is when the Titans beat them. So yeah, like 7-8 years, it'd be just like, that's kind of like, in football, that's really, really good.
I'm surprised. Typically, I'm surprised Sirianni hasn't had more of his coaches get looked at.
They did. Gannon and Steichen. Yeah, Steichen and Gannon.
Steichen, Gannon. There was who was the guy before them? Because the first year they went to the Super Bowl and won with Sirianni, everybody left, and then the Eagles fell apart the next season because they were like, "Oh, Sirianni can't call plays." It was all the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
I think it's been kind of like the inconsistency with Sirianni's teams.
Yeah, it was the year Steichen left.
Yeah, Steichen and Gannon went, and so I don't know. I think that year they went to the Super Bowl, they got pulled, but it's been kind of inconsistent.
What was that, Curtis?
Was that who started at those positions though? Like Sirianni got there.
Steichen was their offensive coordinator that turned Hurts into what he is.
Yeah.
And then he left, and he was gonna, turn Anthony Richardson into whatever. Sirianni came from Frank Reich. So it's all the Frank Reich tree is what I'm hearing. But yeah, no.
The coach that lasted 10 weeks in Carolina.
Yeah, somehow he lasted less time than Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer lasted 13 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Were y'all hype about Urban Meyer when he first got hired?
I was pretty hyped, and then all the stuff started coming out about him, and I was like, "Oh, this guy!" Like, I already knew he was kind of a bad dude, but like, he was a really bad dude. Yeah. Apparently, he was like throwing like the fucking Gatorade bottles and stuff they have at practice. He was like throwing those at dudes and like just going crazy on the sidelines back at Florida. But yeah, apparently, yeah, not a great guy.
And our Colts news.
Yeah. Nothing changes. Same business as usual for the Colts.
Colts still bad.
Doing what the baby horses do, whatever that is, whatever. Fucking
hang the bed
around. Yeah, hang the bed.
Mike Tomlin would be perfect for the Colts. They can go 9-8 and either just miss the playoffs or just make it, lose in the first round, have a terrible draft position like they already do. It'd be perfect. It'd be the same thing. They're just good enough to not be a top 10 pick, and they're just bad enough to either not make it or be a first round exit.
Yeah. All right. Final question of the evening.
You know who I'm saying.
Liam Cohen.
Robert Saleh.
What's
Liam
the
Cohen's
anybody
got
got
them crazy guys.
anybody got a fucking height and weight on these gentlemen?
I know Cohen's 6 foot.
Cohen's taller. For sure.
Is he taller?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You see here.
Nah, no way. No,
Again.
Salah's taller.
6 foot. I don't have his weight. He's
Salah's
6'.
6'1" or 6'2" is what
No,
he's considered to be.
Really?
That's what it says right here on Google.
Huh. Yeah, I got Robert Saleh for sure. And he's got it way more too. He's built better.
Nah, bro. Salah's a bitch. He's one of those guys that he looks cool, like he's a gym bro, and then the first time he gets swung on, he's like, "Oh, that's what blood looks like. This is scary."
Robert
Like-
Saleh hit Cohen
I
so
don't
hard in
like-
the face it fixes his crazy eye.
That's his only hope. You better get one good one in and fix that face, because if he doesn't, he's done for.
He said, "Yeah, one eye looks this way and one eye looks that way. But 1 second, you see my hand going that way, so it slaps that crooked eye straight."
Yeah, that's gonna be fun though. It's gonna really
Yeah, I'm
bring
excited.
bring some enthusiasm to the AFC South.
Yeah, for sure, it'll be fun. Even, hopefully
That's
our
like
defense is better.
That's like when you lose to a kid in sports, and then you start getting mad. And you're like, "My dad could beat up your dad."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Jags sweep the Titans again, but they're like, "Yeah, but Salah would whoop Liam Cohen's ass in a fight." It's like,
That's all we got,
okay.
dog.
like, okay, my dad's a CEO. Your dad's a janitor. Like, what are we talking about here?
Cleaning up the defense, baby.
Gentlemen, I think it's a good
Before we
spot
get
to go
off,
ahead and-
I do have one question. Was it a catch
right,
in the Bills Broncos game?
the interception thing
Yeah,
with Brandon Cooks.
yeah.
I don't think he actually ever had control of it. It didn't really look.
I think it was an interception. I think that because when they caught the ball, they were both on it. They went to the ground. Like there was no like multiple steps or anything. And in the roll, Brandon Cooks just gave up and the defender rolled out with it. Like if they would have been like locked up on the ground, of course you give that to the offense. But because the defender, like in the course of the play, clearly rolled away with the ball, no contest, I think it was an interception. And I think the Rams one that everybody keeps showing,
He had taken 3 or 4 steps.
yeah, he
with the
took 3 or
ball.
4 steps. Like he definitely caught the ball and his knee hit the ground before it came out. That's not the same play at all. But the Bills one, I mean, it basically landed in both of their hands, and then in the course of going to the ground and rolling, there was no contest on Cooks having a hand or anything in there.
I think it was close enough to go either way, and I think whatever call in the field was going to stand regardless of a review.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of like if they would have called it a catch, I don't think they would have overturned it either.
Yeah.
And they didn't review it, but I think, like I said, I think it was close enough where it didn't matter. Like whatever was called was going to stand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a tough one.
A toughie. But look, gentlemen, always a pleasure to have you guys on and talk AFC South ball. If you're a Titans fan, go check out Andrew over at Titans Table for Two. He and his brother Christian holding it down. If you're a Colts fan, where have you been? You should go check out Justin and Jeff over on Unstabled. You should
can't
also
find them
check
here.
also check him out on Tag Team Talk and Justin over on Kingmaker Sports. Up at the top right, Isaiah 1/3 of Third and Teal, where he, Trevor, and Eric all talk Jags as only they can. And then if you're a Texans fan, come check me out at That Real Texas Team podcast. And then, of course, do the same thing here. Folks, be good people. Fuck the Colts.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck the Titans.
Damn, dude. When's it going to
Was
end?
it always?
Robert Saleh, a bitch.
Never.